Ever feel like you've been an adult your entire life? Well, today we're talking about something called the hurried child. That kid who basically had to grow up way too fast. And we're going to dig into the 5 big ways that experience can shape who we are as adults.
Let me ask you something. Growing up, did anyone ever call you an old soul? You know, it always sounds like a compliment, right? But what if I told you it could actually be a sign that you were forced to navigate a world that was moving way too fast for a kid? So, what exactly is a hurried child? It's pretty much what it sounds like. A kid who's pushed into taking on adult-sized responsibilities, roles, and even worries way before their time. They kind of skip over the messy, playful, essential parts of just being a kid. So, let's break down the 5 big traits that this leaves behind.
All right, first up, trait number 1, deep independence. And honestly, on the surface, this one looks like a total superpower. We're talking about a fierce, almost radical kind of self-reliance.
But this goes way beyond just being self-sufficient. It's this deep, almost compulsive need to handle everything on your own. Because think about it. If you learned early on that if you didn't do it, nobody would, well, that's a tough lesson to unlearn. Asking for help might not have even felt like an option. Maybe you worried you'd just be a burden.
Does this little voice in your head sound familiar? You know what? It's fine. I'll just do it myself. It's faster anyway. That right there, that's the sound of deep independence. It was a survival skill back then, for sure. But as an adult, it can accidentally build these huge walls that keep other people and their help out.
Okay, moving on to trait number 2. This one's called a heavy conscience. And this is all about emotions. Specifically, that feeling like you're carrying the emotional weight of the entire world on your shoulders. Maybe as a kid, you were like the family's emotional thermostat, right? Always trying to manage everyone's moods. That kind of experience can hardwire you to believe you're responsible for how everyone else feels. So now, when a friend is down or a coworker is stressed out, your gut reaction is to feel guilty or to feel this urgent pressure to jump in and fix it for them.
And that's when that internal script starts playing on a loop. I bet they're upset with me. What did I do wrong? You automatically take the blame, because you were taught that someone else's bad mood was somehow your failure to keep everything okay. All right, trait number 3, and this one's a little bit of a paradox, isn't it? For someone who is basically a mini adult, you'd think relaxing would be easy, but actually having fun, that can be a real struggle.
See, if your childhood was all about responsibility, your brain learned a simple rule. Time is for doing, not for just being. So spontaneity, or just doing something for the heck of it, can actually feel, well, stressful. It can even trigger this nagging guilt, that little voice saying you should be doing something productive.
And this is the perfect example of that internal battle, right? Oh, I have a free afternoon. I should probably get a head start on next week's work. Any chance for rest immediately gets flipped into a chance for more work. Play just wasn't on the schedule back then, so learning how to do it now, it's like trying to learn a whole new language as a grown-up.
Okay, trait number 4. And this is another one that feels like a superpower, but it's got a pretty big hidden cost. We're talking about having an adult-sized empathy that you developed way too young.
A lot of times, these kids become the confidant for a parent or another adult. They learn how to listen to and hold really complex, grown-up problems. And here's the key thing. It's not just about being compassionate. It's about absorbing that stuff. You don't just feel for people, you feel with them. And honestly, it can be absolutely draining.
And boom, there it is. I can't stop thinking about their problems. I just want to fix it for them. This kind of empathy isn't passive. It's this active, almost compulsive drive to fix everyone else's pain. You end up being the unofficial therapist for your entire social circle. And guess whose needs get put on the back burner? Yep, yours.
And that brings us to our 5th and final trait. And you can think of this one as the operating system that runs all the others. It's an overdeveloped, always-on sense of responsibility.
Think about it. In almost any group situation, family dinner, a trip with friends, a project at work, you're the default planner, right? You're the mediator, the problem solver. You're anticipating issues before they even happen. And why? Because you learned a long time ago that if you didn't hold it all together, it might just fall apart.
This right here is the anthem of anyone who grew up too fast. Don't worry about it, everyone. I've already made a plan. And look, it's not about being a control freak. It's about creating the safety and the predictability that you might not have had. It's a way of calming your own anxiety by bringing order to the world around you. So let's just take a breath for a second. Do any of these sound a little too familiar? If you're nodding along right now, I just want you to know that's completely okay.
Just seeing the pattern is the first and honestly the most important step.
So now it's your turn to reflect. We've just walked through the 5 foundational traits that shape an adult who had to grow up in a hurry.
So, just to recap, we've got that deep independence, a heavy conscience, the difficulty with play, that adult-sized empathy, and finally, the overdeveloped sense of responsibility.
So, I'm going to leave you with this question. And remember, recognizing this stuff in yourself isn't about blame. Not at all. It's about understanding your own story, your own blueprint, so you can start building a future that has a little more balance, a lot more play, and the freedom to just be. So I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let us know which one of these traits really hit home for you.